So it's been a few weeks since the metro tunnel has opened, and the big switch just happened recently on February 1st, 2026. With all of these things happening, a lot of changes have occurred to Melbourne's train system. If you're someone that is trying to understand all of the changes that have been happening, you have come to the right place. In this video, I will be explaining about the metro tunnel and what exactly the big switch is. But before we start, I'm trying to reach my goal of 1000 subscribers on the channel. So if everyone watching this video could subscribe, that would really mean a lot to me. So the metro tunnel is a 9-kilometre underground rail system that was built in Melbourne CBD. The metro tunnel was built so that trains travelling on the Pakenham, Cranbourne and Sunbury lines could run on its own tunnel going through the city. By doing this, it makes it more easier to make more trains operate through the city loop. I will explain more about that later on in the video. This project came with 5 new stations in the Melbourne CBD. Firstly, Arden Station, which was built due to the development in the area. Secondly, we have Parkville Station, which was built for access to Melbourne University and the Parkville Medical Precinct. Next up, we have State Library Station and Town Hall Station. These stations give you direct access to the city loop, with State Library Station having a direct access to Melbourne Central Station and Town Hall Station having a direct access to Flinders Street Station. At these stations, you can change between Metro Tunnel to City Loop stations or vice versa by walking through these underground walkways. And the last station we have is Anzac. This station gives you access to Albert Park and the Shrine of Remembrance. All of the Metro Tunnel stations are very accessible for everyone. And every station in the metro tunnel have these platform screen doors, which are good for safety. So now I'm going to explain to you about the big switch. So the big switch is where there are changes to the train lines and an increase of trains operating on train lines. It is expected that there will be over 1,000 new weekly train services. But this is where it gets complicated. Some train lines won't operate at certain stations anymore. So right now, I'm going to explain the changes that are happening to these train lines. Firstly, the Sunbury line, which is this yellow line here, and the Pakenham and Cranbourne lines, which is the blue line here, will all join into a single line running through the metro tunnel. These lines will no longer run through the city loop. But as I said earlier, you can still access the city loop from the metro tunnel via Town Hall and State Library Station. Now the Sunbury line is color coded in blue and it runs through the metro tunnel and connects directly with the Pakenham and Cranbourne lines. Before, there was a cross-city service with trains going from Werribee and the Williamstown line going across to Flinders Street Station before making a service on the Frankston line. Prior to the big switch, Frankston trains rarely operated through the city loop. And as you can see here, this pink line here called the Sandringham line only ran to Flinders Street Station. Now the Frankston line runs on its own line going directly through the city loop and replacing the Pakenham and Cranbourne lines. And now the Sandringham, Williamstown and Werribee lines become the new cross-city line, with direct access to Flinders Street Station and easy connection to the metro tunnel. The Werribee and Williamstown lines have been color-coded from green to pink. Early in the video, I said that removing some of these train lines would make it more easier to operate more services through the city loop. The Sunbury, Craigieburn and Upfield lines were all in a group called the Northern Group. With the Sunbury line being removed from the Northern Group, it leaves only both the Craigieburn and Upfield lines operating through the Northern Group. With an extra line being removed from the Northern Group, there can be more services operated on the Craigieburn and Upfield lines. The Frankston line was already a very busy train line, but as it was connected with the Williamstown and Werribee lines, it made it nearly impossible to be able to add extra services to the Frankston line. But as the Pakenham and Cranbourne lines do not run through the City Loop anymore, the Frankston line can return to the City Loop. The Frankston line can run all by itself, and it would make it more easier to add extra services on the Frankston line. Now lastly, I'm going to explain what happens to the Mernda, Hurstbridge, Lilydale, Belgrave, Alamein and Glen Waverley lines. These train lines still run through the City Loop, and there really isn't much of a change to these lines. So I hope this video helped you get a bit of knowledge about the Metro Tunnel, and that you now understand what the big switch is all about, and all of the changes that are happening on Melbourne's train network. Thank you for watching this video, and please like and subscribe.